Warning: this podcast may contain explicit content. Parental approval advised. Want to know what is happening on Deviate Delight? Check out the Daily Deviate, Azeroth's most trusted newspaper, covering a variety of noteworthy topics from incursions into Hellfire Peninsula to Netherstorm weather reports. Read about upcoming events and the deviates that make our community delightful. To view recent issues, go to dailydeviate.com. For advertising questions, or if you know of news or an event that should be covered, contact Bacteria, Dominatrix, Moria, or Avendosora. Shout out to my friends over at our RP community, including Captain Happy Keldrick. Check out his Deviate Radio at deviateradio.com. That's deviateradio.com. And also shout out to Bonesy. She is hosting a Crystal Cave Rave on May 29th, Saturday at 11 p.m. server time. So if you need more information, in our Deviate Delight Discord, there is a Horde channel and Horde events channel. Check that place out. And what else? Oh, of course, my friend who makes hot sauce. Check his website out. Please go to samshouse.com, samshouse.com. And also, if you'd like to be interviewed, I have a sign-up page on my website at speedlimit.com. That's sp33dlimit.com. If I have not gotten back to you, my website might be broken. Part of that messaging system through an email, through the sign-up sheet, might be broken. So if you haven't heard from me for like a week or so, you can just add me on Discord at Speedcast, sp33dcast, #2605, and I'll add you to the list. Our guest today, he is a human paladin, a level 15, from Vengeance of Elune, so obviously an alliance. Please welcome Valoric.
It says, you give a poor man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish. You give him
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Cool.
I think we talked over each other.
Oh, I want to check my levels here. Can you say something really quick? Just a couple of
Something really quick.
I need to turn you up a little bit. So, how's it going?
It's going good.
Awesome. What are you up to right now?
Right now I was just trying to level my shaman up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that.
Yep.
It's pretty kind of obvious where this is headed when pre-patch came out.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't even gonna start a paladin, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna start a paladin. There's a lot of people gonna be there, and then it came out. I just started one. I haven't leveled them yet, but
mine's at like level 7, I believe, right now.
You're a shaman?
Yeah, my shaman.
It's a pre-patch, man. Happy pre-patch day. Or
yeah.
How's
Besides
your
coming out a week late?
Yeah. How was your faction side doing? right now?
Uh,
Is it crazy or?
I mean, the LFG chat is kind of going a little nuts.
Mhm.
Because like everybody's there. It's just everybody keeps talking about add-ons. That's it. There's no other chat, just add-ons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
people
yeah.
complaining at yeah,
There's a lot of people in here talking about just how it is the server. It's people know the ratio, or they already know. Most of them know the ratio, but they're asking, how is the horde side in here? People have been kind of really friendly, telling newcomers or
right,
potential transfers, and we've been kind of just having conversations with them and kind of cool interaction from other servers.
right.
But I noticed a few of them I've leveled at least to level 10, 20s. I
Hmm.
think I haven't really noticed new guilds yet, but I think they're coming out pretty soon. I noticed one guild that is recruiting right now that's already promoting their recruitment, and I think that's like blood and something wine, blood
There's
swine or something like that.
I know the Red Army started recruiting in near the end of Classic,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the DD server, there's actually a new guild that was just posted called the Buddy System,
Mm.
like brand new. So, huh, that's actually kind of cool.
So I'm trying to look at your class here. So I have a few that I'm not familiar with. I know I talked to you like last month, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's been kind of bad on my scheduling part. I apologize on my part.
it's
I
fine.
haven't really. There's a lot of messages that I got and can't keep up.
Right.
I'm doing this on my own. Like I wish I wish that I had like someone that like some sort of assistance or something to kind of get me going on the schedules while they tell me, oh, you have a schedule this one, but then again, I'm like, I might not feel like doing it that day, so I I,
Right.
I feel hesitant on even asking somebody because of that reason.
Yeah.
If I wasn't lazy, I would I would do it.
Right.
Yeah. So Valoric walk, is that walk back? Is that?
Yeah. Walkback's my main guy or my horde guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't play horde anymore, but well, my subscription just expired and I don't want to buy another month yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Novellar's my main right now on well, technically he's my highest level character
Mm-hmm.
on Alliance right now. So,
Oh, it's only one character on
yeah.
Alliance. What what class and what race?
He's a human paladin.
Human paladin. Level 60, I assume.
No, he's level 15.
Level 15. Oh wow,
Yeah.
cool. Um, so did you play Horde first then, or?
Um, so when I first joined DD, I started as a, troll hunter.
Mhm.
I got him up to like I think level what was it like level 22, and then I met the Alliance side of DD, and I was like, hey, this side's way cooler. So then I
Mm.
decided to scrap port and swap over to Alliance.
Bought another account, and so you can have two individual accounts you can log in and simultaneously.
Yeah,
Was that the idea?
yeah.
Okay. And where did you play? Where did you play, like in a different server before, or is it? Are
I
you
did
okay? Where what server?
on Scarum.
Scarum. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that server much.
it's a 99% horde server.
Oh,
Yeah.
so this one of those server like Earth Shatter, or what was that one? Earth Fury or something like that.
Earth Fury games.
Yeah. Wow. What was that? What was it like there? like just how I mean how long did you realize that this is not worth playing on a server and decided to level another character on a different server?
What had happened is I forgot the guild was named Cuddly Clue.
Hmm.
And I had joined day one far ago at the beginning, and I got my gnome mage up to I think it was level 35 because I'd played on and off because school was taking over my schedule and all that stuff.
Sure.
And I got him up to like 35, and then I came back for a while, and then Asmon Gold on his stream had started out Scarum,
Hmm.
and so before we know it, a bunch of level one started attacking Scarum, and then the ratio started falling back. Instead of being one guild, there was like 100 guilds, and it really
Hmm.
threw the own like alliance side community of itself like into a weird funk. Because
Hmm.
then they were all like, "Oh, there's these hardcore guys that are joining our server, trying to make alliance more than like a little group and family that we play with every so often."
Hmm.
So I
And
don't,
you,
I yeah,
so you were horde in there, right?
no, I was alliance. I had
You,
a gnome mage.
I see. So when they
Yeah.
came, when the streamers and whatever they came in there to kind of balance the population, was that the idea?
Pretty much. I think that's what he was trying to get at.
Hmm. And this was prior to your starting on that server, or you were there then?
I was there. I joined Scarum day one.
That one, okay.
Yeah,
So when did this happen? You were there, just like you see, just shitloads of people just running around on that.
level one. Yeah, naked level ones running around like Iron Forge and
Hmm.
Stormwind, and it was just it ruined the experience, I guess.
That's crazy to see. I bet.
Yeah, when I say it was like a mass of humans just
Hmm.
running through Iron Forge, it was like it was scary.
Yeah, back then, back in the day when I played in Argent Dawn server and vanilla, we would get these. We would get we were like rivalry with another server called BlackRock, and mostly in their horde side. I don't know like what started it, but ever since that their servers are down because back then they would have servers would like separately shut down on different realms. One
Right.
is up in a couple hours, one is down in a couple hours, and so forth. So we had this one server, rival server, and back then they used to whenever their whenever their server's down, they would create little gnomes in our server and run from where the level area at to Ironforge and just spam chat yells. BlackRock is down. BlackRock is down. So this kind of reminded me of that situation where they just
Right.
spam and when they're bored and it's down. And we would do the same. So we would create like orcs and um, trolls and go into Orgrim and spam when we're down too, and they're pretty
Right.
aware of that. So
Yeah,
so
that's neat. That shows the community binding and whatnot.
yeah, and this in your case, then it's completely different because it was just
Yeah.
probably like a one time thing, and then they probably
And then
got burnt
yep.
out or whatever. So after that happened, did you see any alliance that stayed maybe for a little while and leveled and played in your server?
There was a guild that had came out of nowhere. I forgot the name of it. They got a bunch of guys, like their whole raid team moved from I think it was Pagel over to Scarum,
Hmm.
and they all leveled up level ones. They all went all the way up to 60, and they moved their raid team to Pagel,
Hmm.
which or to Scarum, my bad. And I thought that was crazy because it was just one guild that nobody knew on the server, but then all of a sudden they became like the big raiding guild of the server.
Hmm.
So instead of having like our one guild that we had, Cuddly Clue, the group, They had made their own guild. I forgot. I keep forgetting the name of it.
Mhm.
Um, but their own guild that was like top rating in the server. So it really made us like, okay, why are we on here when we can go to other servers and find top tier raid groups instead of being locked out of this, one guild?
Sure. And they just transferred, or they just leveled another tune
I know if
somewhere?
you guys transferred, the guild master is still on that realm. There's still an active community. I'm still in their Discord. Um, they still have like the cuddly crew is still a thing and it's still active. Um, it's just less than what it was before.
Mhm.
But I think they're planning on running everything in TBC, which is cool.
Do you still check that server out?
Yeah, I go in there about once a month and I see what they're up to.
Mm.
But other than that, that's cool. I think it's cool that they're still around.
Yeah, I mean that requires a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
Especially if they're that 99% horde, and that's a PvP server, or
It is a
is it?
PvP server.
Oh wow, that makes it really
Yeah.
hard too. Then wow, that's crazy. So what made you choose Deviate Delight?
So I had been taking a break from Classic at the time. It was around Halloween. Funny enough, the last item I had received in my inventory was a DBA Delight from some guy spamming Yell in Stormwind.
Hmm.
And so I took a break from Classic and I went and played retail. I got through Mythic Plus and all that stuff in retail, but then I was like, you know what? I don't like this realm I'm on in retail. So I transferred my one max level character over to Warm Rest Accord, where I was on Horde and I got into RP in Warm Rest Accord, like deep into RP. Um, and so I was like, I think Classic, if I integrated the same like RP elements as I did into retail into Classic, I think I'll have an enjoyable time there as well. And
Hmm.
so I was on the hunt for an RP server, and I saw like Bloodsail Buccaneers, and I was like, well, that's not cool. And so then I kept scrolling, and I saw Deviant Delight, and I was like, whoa, I got that on my character. And I was like, I'm just gonna join this one. And so I joined the server. I started my character, and that was my start in DD. So
So it's just like a pure coincidence that you
y-
thought about that
yep,
one particular thing. I wonder if you would have picked the same thing if you don't have that in your bag.
I don't think I would be playing Classic,
Yeah.
to be completely honest. So
So, given your RP experience in retail, uh, you said you had some experience in there, right? Like you're talking
right.
about like the elements that you brought in here to play classic, and why not?
Mhm.
Um, your best experience in retail. How does one RP in retail?
Um, so I think the main difference from retail and classic is on the RP servers in classic, the main focus is roleplay, whereas the RP servers in retail are kind of like a joke. All the good PvPers on there, all the good raiders are on there. But like there's like those little hidden gems that you can find, and you're like, whoa, this is a cool thing. But more organized events happen on classic than they do um on like retail,
Hmm.
especially with DD being such a low pop server compared to Realm Rest Core, which is a full server. So
Hmm.
everything seems more like tight knit and like as a family, and we all know each other. We all know our characters, and compared to Warm Rest Accord, where every single like RP event that you were doing was a walk up to a new person.
Hmm.
But you wouldn't see the same person week after week at the tavern, you know?
Yeah, because
It
of the
Yeah,
because of the cross realm
right.
thing going on. Where I know I've talked a lot about this in a few episodes. The reason why I play classic is the community,
Right.
where in retail, it's cross realm. I mean, I don't know like what what discouraging part of what part of the discouragement coming from the cross realm. I mean, you can still see each other if you invite them to party and you go into that person, but there's something about like just one individual server. Something
Hmm.
about it, you know.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a weird thing to think about because I can tell you like one specific instance. I was playing my Void Elf Rogue, who's a baker, and I was selling bread to this Pandaren couple, and we had this big, huge like character changing event, and I haven't seen the guy since. And I check the same spot that he's been in every single day, not every single day, but every few days here and there. I hop on, hey, is this guy here? I want to talk to him again.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, he's not there, and I haven't seen him. It may have been because he's not on the same server as me. So I don't know if I'll ever have time to talk to that guy again. But it's
And
just crazy.
and you can't just add them as friends, right? It has to be in the same server, right?
So you
You,
can't add character friends unless they're on the same server, I believe.
yeah.
But
So
I didn't couldn't be tagging, so
yeah, you could, but then they might not want that because that's their personal account. You know,
right.
it would be like really nice if you could do like a friend, befriend the character themselves as
Yep.
something slash. Then that might be somewhat better because then you can find them. You know,
Right.
because I think part of the retail has like some sort of a phase shift,
Hmm.
the shifting or whatever you call that,
The layering.
the layering. Yes, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I think they have that there because of it. It's just there's a lot of people that place, and there's a lot of cross realm going on, and they can't predict of where the characters are at most of the time, so they had to figure out a way to balance that out in terms of the population who can people can see each other and the way that
Right.
it's not like in retail. Well, in classic it started that way, and then
Mhm.
they started, maybe upgrading their hardware or figuring out a way to show everybody without lag issues.
Yeah.
So I don't really know like maybe there's a coding behind it that we don't that I don't know about, but
I
it
think
seems.
I know layering was active in classic in like the early days.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if it still is a thing, which I don't know if it is or not. I feel like I said earlier, we're a low pop server, so I don't think we have to have that extra layer because we're like all I don't know how to explain it. We're all small enough where we can fit into one layer compared to like a full server.
True, but then again, the first few weeks of playing in DV Delight wasn't really too bad. It was like medium population yet, and they
Right.
they still needed that somewhat. Not bad, but it's probably still needed
Yeah.
until they release the whole uh, uh, aspect of you can see each other fully.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So have you cloned any of your characters? I mean, you're only level 15. It wouldn't make any sense to
Yeah, no,
clone
I
more.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't cloned any characters, and I probably won't. Most of the buddies that I play with on this realm in current guild that I'm in are going into TBC,
Uh-huh.
so I feel like it's just best to head into TBC.
Now, you made friends here on your way to leveling in here, or did your other friends from your other server came to join you to play?
My one of my cousin had came over from. I think he was actually on Grob, but he came over to Deviant Delight a few weeks ago. He's in Celestial's guild. And then everybody else I've met in game before I've like met him on the Discord or anything. So
Hmm. And what level is he?
I think he said he was about 30 something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's well what had originally happened is I was like, hey man, I play in this RP PvP guild or realm. And he was like, oh, that sounds stupid. And I was like, no, you should come and try it out. And so we had leveled up rogues together to level 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'd gotten busy, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep leveling up my paladin, and I'll see you at level 60.
Mm-hmm.
Joking, I was gonna beat him to level 60, but at this rate, I'm nowhere near beating him.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
yeah,
so you just kind of level alone and together and found. Have you found like guild that you got connected with or?
yeah, I'm with VOE, and that had happened. I just joined their Discord to join their Discord and see like how everything was going, and
Mhm.
um, I got to give props to Toriella, where she just let open the gates for me into the community itself. She
Mhm.
invited me to the Tipsy Titan Discord. She invited me to the Stonehearth Fellowship Discord, all of that stuff, and it really opened my eyes. And I was like, "Holy crap, dude! This community's like actually cool." And so that like made me like concrete and stay in this server. So
Cool. And you're still in VOE now.
I am still in
When
VOE, yeah.
VOE, what's that stands for? I forgot.
Vengeance of the Loon.
Vengeance of Falun. Okay. Okay. And are you, well, you're part of the guild now, so are you guys, what's the plan with that guild? Like, what's the sound like, the plan that they're gonna achieve?
I think everybody is just trying to clear out eventually all the TBC content. And then we have some guys focused on PvP. I feel like they're going to be the same people as Classic, but I'm not too sure on that because I don't necessarily enjoy PvP that much.
I see.
Yeah.
Uh, so you're looking into just raiding or something, 10 man, or like end raid, or
Yeah, end rating.
and what's your focus on your spec is gonna be?
I was thinking either Holy or Ret, just whatever the guild needs when I get to max level.
Hmm.
I'll probably end up going Holy just because that's what I enjoy best.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah,
Those are just the main focus right now. Just not thinking about tanking at all. What if they wanted you to tank?
if
They're
they
like,
needed me to tank, I'd have to learn how to manage aggro and all
mhm.
that. But I mean, I would do it if they needed me to. So
Hey man, it's not too late to. Well, actually, you're level 15, so you have a lot of room to learn. You know, when you start
yeah,
tanking from that level, and you'll be invited in groups right away. Especially on the alliance side, you have it's more populated there than the horde.
right.
And I don't know how it is like with the boosting um population there. Is that bad? Is it okay? What's the deal with that? Is it a lot of getting boosted from mages or?
There was someone in the DD Discord posted a picture of a giant group of people getting ready to get boosted by a paladin.
Oh.
Um, it was Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a few other people complaining that there was boosts going on. There was a few mages running boosts. Um, I mean, but the store boost, I haven't heard any complaints about that on Alliance side. Um, I mean, no, I don't think anybody necessarily minds people getting boosted. Like, yeah, it's kind of stupid, and yeah, it ruins the uh the whole like setup to getting max level.
Mm-hmm.
But some people just want to play endgame, and I understand their position. But it's just, hey, play the character, learn how to play it, get to max level, then have fun, or even more fun, you could say.
Are you interested on getting boosted at all or buying the boost to boost your character to 58?
I'm probably going to end up buying the boost just because it's there, using my resources to my advantage.
Mm-hmm. How much
Um,
is that? Like 40,
it's the one without all the extra stuff is $40,
$40? Okay.
and then I think there's a $70 edition which comes with the boost, the two mounts, the Dark Portal Hearthstone, and then the Fell toy where your footsteps turn into Fell energy,
Oh, I see.
and 30 days game time too.
Oh, it does 30 games time too?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That could be worth it. Does it
It,
have the clone too?
it does not have the clone.
Oh, I see. Huh. Because I I would want something like that. Like, it's one of my characters that I want to play in TBC, but I have four 60s right now that I'm gonna work on. But I think
Right.
I want to only focus on one for now, anyway, until I get bored with it and whatnot. And that's what usually the advantage of having alternative characters are. When you're bored with that one, you're burnt out playing when you're main, you'll go into the other ones and start fucking around or whatever you need to do. And
Right.
paladins are, in the horde side now, so I think I might level 1, so I'm gonna work on that sometime. Well, what about you? You're shaman, you said, right? You're leveling a shaman.
Yeah, I was watching your stream the day when all the servers were down,
Yeah.
and I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna wait until 1 a.m. and all this stuff and that. And I had school the next day, so I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And so I went to sleep, and then I woke up. I played for like 10 minutes, got my character ready, got her up to level 2,
Mm-hmm.
logged off, came back home, and then I sat down, I played a little bit, and then I had stuff to deal with. I got back on, and now we're at level 7.
Cool.
So
How do you
progress. So,
like your shaman so far?
I think Shaman's my favorite class in Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this before you found out about being a shaman, or is it right after you played it?
After playing it for a little bit, getting like about level 3 or 4, I was like, okay, I really like how this like plays out right now. Even at the low level, I was like, this is kind of cool.
What's your favorite so far? I mean, you're only low level, but what's your favorite so far? What clicked that made you want to like say, "Oh, this is awesome. This is my favorite class."
Coming from a mage and having to worry so much about mana issues, coming and playing Shaman and spamming Lightning Bolt is way less mana consuming and way faster casting than casting Firebolt over and over again.
Mm.
And it just makes me feel I don't know how to it feels more comfortable when I play it compared to like Warlock or a mage.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, my main is a shaman, and I don't know if you know that. It's a speed limit is just my alternative character.
Yeah.
My alt, so my shaman is Green Hell. Yeah, that's my favorite, man. I'm telling you, it's the first time I've known about shaman was because I played Alliance back then, back in vanilla, and I was a Night Elf hunter.
Right.
And I would see different classes when I encountered them, and whether if it's in PvP or BGs or around the world. But I never really paid attention to how many classes there were when I started playing, and that was just like in the back of my mind. We're like, okay, I'm gonna worry about my class. I'm gonna focus on it, get better at it. But I never had the thought of you're supposed to get to know other classes so you can master them in terms of maybe going against them, so you know what what capabilities they have. And that didn't occur to me the first time, the first maybe a few years that I was playing, until I started leveling other characters.
Right.
I think I leveled a paladin, low levels. After my hunter, level paladin, maybe warrior, and here and there warlock, just like low level ones. And I started thinking, I'm like, oh, cool, you can do this with this class, you can do this with this class. And then when TBC came out, I heard this shaman's gonna be in the Alliance side, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I'm like, I'm really, really intrigued by this shaman. It's like, I've never experienced a shaman,
Right.
being a shaman. So when it came out, I was really addicted to it. I was a Draenei shaman, and I started one, leveled it to 70, and fell in love with it right away. Like right then, I was hooked. and that was my main character from there on out. Well, it was the main character that I played the most until, each expansion release, I would play a different character. Death Knight when Wrath of the Lich King came out, and then Legion. I didn't really get into a lot of Demon Hunter, but played my Hunter again. I was kind of back and forth, and I just kind of forgot my Shaman, And when Retail came out, I didn't really pay attention to my Shaman anymore. And then heard about Classic coming out, so I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be my Shaman days again. So I started leveling my Shaman, and I think one of the things that I really enjoy being a Shaman is the theory crafting with just sitting here and figuring out what points should I spend my talent on, researching what's the best, watching videos, going on online is just do a lot of researching before, spending some points, and then kind of well thought out plan what my end goal is going to be. So I decided, I'm like, well, I want to raid, so let's start with that. Let's take this one guide that says from level 1 to 50 at least go elemental. Oh wait, no, from level 1 to 20 or 30 go enhancement, and from level 30 to 50 go elemental, and then from level 51 to 60 and resto right away. And I followed that guide. Here and there I would respect from time to time, just to kind of test everything. I think when I do that, when I do it specifically, I would get an awesome weapon. Like if I was a elemental or something like that, or if I was a resto, I would get the Ravager axe that makes you spin. I would get that, and I'm like, oh shit, this is cool. I wanna try this. I would respect to enhancements. Let's just try that, and then I get sick of it for 2 weeks, and then respect back to resto, and so forth, back and forth like that. I probably had respected a whole lot until I leveled to 60, because I was unsure of the talent on the spec that I wanted. So yeah, that was that. That was just my story of being a shaman, and now I'm still. I want to be a resto again for TBC. It's a little buffed, but I'm loving elemental now. So, what about you? What's your plan on your shaman right now? What have you done? Any research? Have you made your plans on what your end goal is going to be when you level to 60 or 70?
I think for leveling, I'm probably just going to end up going probably enhancement, just because I prefer melee classes when leveling and stuff. For raid, if there's an open healing slot, I'll probably go resto. If not, then I'll probably stick with enhancement in the end, mainly because I know what's good in the later phases and stuff. But if I needed to respec into elemental, I feel like I'd be comfortable enough to play elemental. But right now the plan is to just get up to 50 or get up to 60 with enhancement, and maybe switching around depending on if it's a major thing that I could save a lot of time doing. But if there's no 10 hours saved with me switching to elemental, I'll probably just stick with enhancement to learn the spec.
Yeah, right now too with the pre-patch, you get all the talents that you can dual wield your weapons. I heard that's really, really good for leveling, because it's so fast.
Right. You
can imbue your Wind Fury for both weapons, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you get instant wolf form if you added that point, which is back then it wasn't possible. It has 1 second cast. but now it's
Wanna-
like
yeah.
it's buffed, so it's ready to go. I tried it. It's kind of cool, you know. It's not like a druid shape-shifting form where you can get away from impairing effects, unfortunately, but you know, I'd take it any day.
Right, it's a cool. It's not new, but it's reworked. It's a cool new thing that came out with the new expansion and an addition onto what's already there.
So which raid are you excited about this coming TBC endgame?
Um,
Do you
I
have you played like back then? Did you play vanilla back then, or?
No, because when World of Warcraft came out, I was 2 years old.
Oh wow. Oh okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, you
yeah.
mentioned that. That's so crazy,
Or
man.
when TBC came out, my bad. When TBC came out, I was 2 years old.
Oh, that's crazy, man. You're over 21 though, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. But yeah, oh, it doesn't matter, man. Like, yeah,
Right.
I doubt that there's, you know, I probably won't talk to like if you're under 18. But
Right.
well, I don't see the problem in that also, because it's like, well, maybe there would be an issue because of I can't really share information for. But you're not really sharing any personal information though.
Right.
This is your character, and you know, there's no way to tell, even if, you know, just if you said right now, oh, I'm 17 or I'm 16, there's no
Right.
way to tell that, you know, that you might be that you're not, that you're at that age. But
hmm
yeah, getting to the point where, you know, I'm kind of want to be careful on the people that I would talk to. It seems like I would know right away if, you know, people are trying to get in here, if they're underage or whatnot. I would know right away. Besides, I don't think there's any underage that plays this game. As well,
Right.
maybe they would have the parents that playing with them. You know, then that's safer than just having them play by themselves.
Yeah. One of my cousin, who's that warrior I was telling you about earlier.
Hmm.
He actually got in because his dad was playing, and his dad's brother, my uncle, was playing as well, and they started in vanilla, and they had played all the way up to Legion, I think they said,
Hmm.
and then they stopped when BFA came out because it was a terrible expansion.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, from your past memories of this game, like, what have you heard that is pretty cool about this game? Like, it's not trying to form my question.
Mhm.
So, when you found out about World of Warcraft, like, how old were you then? When you
I think I was about. I think I want to say like about 8 years old.
did this game attract you then when you found out about this game, or it's just something
One
that?
100% in my eyes. Like right, how I got introduced is my neighbor and their family plays,
Mhm.
and the oldest son introduced me to the game. He told me how to play, and I started playing on his account, which is totally what happened. I'm just wait, no, I'm trying to say it like not against TOS. We
Mhm.
weren't sharing accounts for sure.
Mhm.
He got me started playing on his account, and I had made, I think it was a hunter, a human hunter,
Mhm.
and I had started running around like Goldshire and Elwyn Forest and all that stuff. And I was like, this seems really cool. And you know, like being a little kid, and you have this mindset where, hey, there's this giant open world that I can do whatever I want in. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go home and ask my mom if I can get this on her computer.
Mhm.
And little did I know, I started playing, and I kept playing, and I got myself into a guild when like Pandaria came out,
Yeah.
and that's when I started raiding, and I got deep into the game.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Unfortunately, that you didn't. You know, I mean, you were still young when the classic came out, when Vanilla came out. You know, but it's still, I would expect the same experience coming from starting from a different expansion, because overall, I mean, I've enjoyed World of Warcraft for a long time,
right.
and uh, I don't know part of the reason, because it's just, I don't know, it's so unique. Like, it's not, it's kind of hard for me to compare it for other games, because I've tried other MMOs out there. It's not the same. I'm mostly probably biased about it, but that, if even so, even if I was biased about it, that says something. That it's a really popular game. It's really immersive, and I really like the lore. Like, I think that's part of it. Like, I like the lore. I like the looks. I mean, it's kind of cartoony. It's not realism in any case like that, but it has just, I don't know. This just the lore behind it, the fantasy behind it. I mean, you got an elf, you got an orc, you got a gnome, you got a dwarf, and the best thing about that is, it's a separate faction. It's like, you can't communicate with the other faction, which makes it more interesting in kind of way. Talking about a big game like this, that's, when Blizzard thought this through, it's like, we're making a huge game. Is this a good idea? They don't know. Nobody knew that a lot of people were going to play this game. If it was, even if they created some sort of like a shared party system where Horde and Alliance can go to dungeons together, can do stuff together. Even if they did that, it's still, I don't know, they would have been like, it's gonna be really big even if we do that. But I think it has something to do with part of the story where Horde and Alliance cannot get along, and they had to stick with it. And I'm glad that they did that. They stuck with the storyline, that decision. I mean, even then, it still became really, really popular, and there's a lot of people playing it.
Right. Yeah, this World of Warcraft is so unique. There's, like you said, there's no other MMO like it. Like, if we're going to even balance it down to the faction system, like other games that have factions, like EVE Online and Elder Scrolls Online, even then you can communicate through your different factions, and like, they all have grudges against each other, so it wouldn't make sense. Like, hey, why are you able to talk to your enemies? Like, wouldn't they want to cut all communications? Kind of like how it is in WoW. Like, why would you want to talk to the Horde? Story play wise. And
right.
it like ruins, like you said, the immersion and the realistic stuff that comes with the game, and following the lore and the story behind the scenes that we don't really see as players, but we have to like understand and read into to see.
Yeah. I mean, granted, we can communicate outside the game, like Discord,
right?
But it still hasn't changed the fact that we can't communicate inside the game. And they've created RP communicator like Hermes to convert your language from just typing in a sentence. It'll convert it on whatever is available, like from common tongue to undead language, or orcish language.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard that add-on
I have
before. And I mean, granted, it's not very accurate. It's still, you still need to install it. People still need to install it, and at the same time, there's like, I can even see myself, if I see an alliance there that I know, I just wave at them. It's /wave. I don't even try to like talk to them, because it's like,
right.
It's not accurate. Like, they're just gonna try to, like, I don't know, decipher it when they read it wrong or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, even with Hermes, you have to decipher what it says, because like it'll replace C's with K's and S's with Z's.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff. Like, you still have to be like, okay, what is this person saying? You can't like read it quick like you can to anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Or on your faction. And so it adds, I mean, to a degree, it adds like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like, it's another set of that, like you said, immersion that the players can feel if they did need to talk cross faction.
Mm-hmm. Now, being a low level as it is that you are, not to talk and down on you or anything like that. What's your plan on just keep leveling up? Are you planning? I did I ask you if you were gonna get boosted or something like that with like maybe paying somebody to boost you or
Yeah, you had asked. My views on boosting is like people are gonna do it. I don't care, but personally, I'm not gonna do it because I want my character and myself to go through like, hey, we're leveling, we're trying to learn ourselves, and blah 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 that stuff. And
Mhm.
it's just like the experience within itself. Because if you're acting as your character, like if you're in character while you're doing questing and stuff, that makes you in your character per se reflect on, themselves as a character. And from the roleplay standpoint, that's the main reason why I joined this server is to have a bigger roleplay experience. It like really opens my eyes as like the player. I'm like, wow, this character actually technically went through a lot more than I would have thought of if he got boosted. So like if my character got boosted, he wouldn't have died multiple times. He wouldn't have like got lost. He wouldn't have run into an enemy and had to run away quick, or he was going to get killed or something. It's just those little experiences you take in and you can like note down and you're like, whoa, this happened to me as a character. Whereas if you got boosted through Stockade, you're like, wow, we ransacked the jail. So
Yeah, for sure. And also, it comes into a place where you get used to your character in terms of knowing the spells, knowing what to do when you encountered like another a different faction, another class, and you know what to do then when you get used to just using your shaman, right? Let's make that an example. If you leveled that up to 50 on your own, you're gonna know what to do versus you get boosted by like a mage and you just stand there and you kind of check your talents so that what you learn, you're like, oh cool, you just stand there and just like try it in the cave while you waiting. And when leveling on your own, you get to actually try it and experience it, and you know what it is, versus
right,
that it's just sitting there and you're just reading it through without even like trying it. Unless you're like hybrid boosting, maybe that works. I mean, if you have the money for it too, that comes into a factor too.
right.
So, yeah, it's almost an hour, man. This is do you have any shout outs you want to mention before we end the session?
Uh, Not really. I mean, I'm always almost at the Tipsy Titan every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
If people want to come hang out, come hang out. It's a cool place. We have our Discord. It's open. We're all in voice chat during the time. We all hang out. We all listen to music. Sometimes we do karaoke at 1 a.m. if you want to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say.
Did you cover everything that you wanted to talk about today? I mean, we didn't really have like a plan on actual scripted questions. I just invite you and talk, and say whatever's in your mind to this point. But if you have any other stuff that you want to cover or you want to say,
I think it's fine. I think it's just nice having a conversation about this stuff.
mm-hmm.
Because like some people won't see it. So like I said, the little tiny RP things that like some people won't see, it'll be just your character. Like only you will see that, and it's having roleplay experience. Like I wish people could like take that stuff in a little bit more. Like those little things that happen to your character that you won't expect.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
It's yeah.
You are. It seems like you are leaning to more of that RP side of the community rather than having to like level and raid and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's more of your thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And that's not bad at all. That's
Right.
I know a lot of people that are just in it for the RP community, man. That's pretty cool to me. That's in your own game, in your own achievements and whatever you call it. If you enjoy it, and just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, thank you again for coming.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And I will release this sometime maybe this week.
Cool.
So yeah, thanks for coming, man.
For sure.
Yeah, you have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man.